So the issue I would like to work on is regarding my son. Now, I've been having troubles with him.
Mm-hmm.
And turns out I actually had to kick him out. The boundary thing wasn't working.
Yeah.
And he was disrespectful. He broke rules. He made threats, whatever. So I finally said enough is enough, and I'm not putting up with this. He ended up breaking down the front door.
Wow.
And because he goes to his dad, and then his dad kind of like builds up his anger, looking at it as a chance for him to get back at me. So he kind of like feeds into his anger.
Okay.
So then he just couldn't control himself, and he actually came out and said he was threatening to break down the door.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'll call the police, and he said, if you do, I'm going to tell them you use drugs.
Okay.
And he did end up breaking down the door. So I had to, figure out what to do with the door because it's irreparable and whatever. He was going on a trip, and then he came back. He didn't have anywhere to go. I told him he could stay in the house for 2 weeks while he had his exams, and he would figure out where he wanted to go and whatever. So in less than a week, he started breaking rules again. Mm-hmm. At that point, his dad had come back, and I said, just go stay with your dad. I don't care, whatever. So this has been a major change. His dad has used this opportunity yet again to, feed into his anger. What kind of a mom does this? What kind of a mom doesn't care where her son is? What kind of a mom are you? You're doing blah, 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 blah. So there's been a lot to deal with, and, I've had to order a new door and it's unsafe and put screws in, and it's been kind of a mess. Mm-hmm. But his threat actually made me go to the police and ask them what my legal rights were. And I said, this is the way my son's been threatening me. What can I do and what can't I do? And I came back to him and I said, these are my rights. So stop trying to abuse me. It's not going to get anywhere.
Okay.
So it's been a chance for me to stand up for myself and, whatever. But it's very icky. No mother wants to ever have to do this.
No, of course not.
But unfortunately, this is what it's come to, and his dad wants him on his side. So he gives him money and just builds up his anger against me as a way to get back at me. So I probably have some, I don't know what negative beliefs I have here.
So what do you love about the situation?
I don't. I hate it.
Yeah, so that's not coming up as true. So
why would I love such a shitty situation?
Because if you didn't love it and you were done with it, you'd stop creating it. Right? This is the thing. This is law of attraction. This is wherever you're focused on, you create more and more of it. So you keep creating this situation, and you're actually escalating this situation. So
I don't escalate it. It's him. He's the one that wants to rebel.
Okay, but this isn't about him. This is about you and what you're creating in your reality. And for you to keep saying it's not me, it's him, it's my son, it's my husband, it's constantly making you a victim and giving all the power to them for what's going on in your life.
Why would I create so much mess? I'm already dealing with so much.
What are the benefits in creating this kind of mess?
I don't know. I finally got him out of the house.
Okay.
Maybe. At least I don't have a snitch in the house.
Okay.
That's one benefit. He can't go to his dad and just tell him everything that's going on and give reports.
Okay. So that's for getting him out, but you got him out and he came back and broke down the door.
The morning after, yes, he did. But then, I didn't let him stay. He came to pick up his things.
Okay.
And then he left, and then he had forgotten something, and I told him to wait, and he didn't want to wait, and then he raged and then broke down the door.
Okay.
So I didn't let him back in when we were going through this.
Okay.
It was just that he had talked with his dad and he was like super raged and he wasn't willing to wait for me to get the things that he needed the second time that he came back.
So it's his dad causing the rage in him.
Well, he has some himself, but yes, his dad uses that as a chance to get back at me, because it's hurtful when your son behaves this way. This is his way of manipulating me or hurting me because he doesn't have access to me anymore. It's only through my son.
Yeah. So it's interesting because you started to say, I want to talk about my son. And within less than a minute, you went straight to your husband.
Ex-husband.
Yeah, ex-husband.
Yeah. I have no association with him anymore.
Well,
okay.
You have no association with him, but at the same time, you've got a lot of association because you keep talking about him. Your focus is still on him, on that relationship with him, and you keep pulling it back, using your son as a conduit right now. So why such a fixation on the ex-husband rather than just moving on with your life?
I want to move on with my life, and I kind of am, but my son is it's one of the main ways that he can have an impact on my life right now, and he uses it to the maximum.
Yeah. But again, if we come back to you're creating your life and the situations in your life, why do you want to continue to keep your ex in your life? What's the benefit there?
No benefit. I'd be happy if he just died right now.
Ooh,
like drop dead. I'd rather he suffered first though. But
there it is.
Yeah.
So are you going to keep him in your life until you know he has suffered as he should?
No, he can suffer without being in my life.
See, that's not coming up as true. Do you want to know that he suffered?
Well, I would like that.
And see, this is the thing. You're holding on to this guy until you get that sense that he's finally got what he's deserved and he suffered. So you're not letting him go and letting him get out of your life.
Okay. How do I undo that?
So you have to let him go. You have to forgive him.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not there. I can't forgive him now.
Okay. If you cannot forgive him, then he's always going to take up space in your mind. If he's always going to take up space in your mind, you're always going to attract him and consequences from him into your life. These are the choices you're making right now.
Okay. If I say I've forgiven him, I'm not being truthful though.
And I get that, but you have to get yourself to a place where you are able to forgive him. Because remember, that's exactly what I said. Forgiving him is about getting to a place where you stop giving him space in your mind. You say, I forgive you for what you've done. You go on and do your life the way you want to do it. I'm going to do the life the way I want to do it. And we're over now.
Okay. How can we do a clearing around that? I'm willing to try my best to forgive him to whatever extent that I can.
There's no real clearing around that. That's a decision you have to make.
Okay.
So you have to get yourself to a place where you're willing to forgive him. Okay. We can do one here. And like, are you willing to destroy the belief that you can't be happy or satisfied until he gets what's coming to him?
Yes, this one I can. If I'm happy, that's going to devastate him.
See, but even that, you're trying to create happiness to have an effect on him rather than just being happy. All your thoughts come back to him.
Not necessarily. It's just like feeding two birds with one seed. I'm happy and he's devastated. So
this is the thing. When I said be happy, you didn't go, oh, I'd love to be happy. You're like, oh, yeah, because if I'm happy, it's going to hurt him. You went straight to him.
Okay. Yeah, I have to get him out of my head.
Uh-huh.
It's not that easy. He's trying all these techniques through his lawyer and not making the payments and just creating chaos. So it's not that easy to not think about him when he's doing things.
Okay, but think about how it works. The more you think about him, the more you create around the relationship with him. So it's not it's reverse of the way you think it's happening. When you stop giving your focus and your attention, your energy to him, all these things will stop happening. They will just fade into the background. But because you're there, you're creating more of them. So you get the belief, and then the evidence of that belief shows up. It's not that the evidence is there and that's what's locking in the belief. It's the reverse.
Okay, but the thing is, like he showed up here for 2 weeks, and he was here last month.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's suspicious, and I have to be on guard to try to figure out what he's trying to hit me with, because he doesn't do anything if he doesn't have a plan.
Okay.
And the fact that he made a trip and spent all that money to come here meant that he was planning an attack or something. So I have to be aware.
It's coming down to how much you're creating this whole story of him being the villain, him being the enemy, this ongoing war, and not just letting go. Right?
If someone is trying to hurt me on a daily basis, how can I not see them as a villain?
Okay, and I get what you're saying, but you're not getting what I'm saying in that
I
you're
understand what you're saying. It's easier said than done.
okay. So if you get what I'm saying, what am I saying?
You're saying that I should stop seeing him as the bad guy because that is the behavior that he keeps repeating.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying start seeing him as the good guy. I'm just saying get your attention off him. Because
Well, I can try, but I can't completely do that.
I understand you, like if he's up to something that you want to know what's going on, but you still
Yeah.
it's still a matter of how often are you focused on this thing. Like if you see him, there's still a thing of, oh, I noticed he was doing that, I should report this to my lawyer and then move on because that incident is over. But do you do that, or do you sit there and what was he doing and try to figure it out and spend all this time with him in your head and him in your focus? Right?
Well, I try to do less and less of that as much as possible.
Okay, but from just our conversation here today, it doesn't seem like you're doing much of that. It seems like your focus is a lot on him because you started talking about your son, and you went straight to him, and then we talked about other things, and you keep going to him, and this has been going on for a long time now.
This is the direct effect that he has on my son. I mean, it's not something that I can just not talk about. He uses my son against me every chance he gets, so
Okay.
it's there. Even if I don't talk about it, it's there.
It's there, but it's still it's a situation that's being created from you. If we look at it from the point of view of how the universe works, you're creating the situations in your life. So what's it going to take for you to trust in the universe that things will work out if you get more into a positive frame of mind, get out of a fear mindset, and allow things to work out?
I do get out of a fear mindset when it's possible. It's
Okay.
not like I'm there constantly.
Okay.
I get there when things get stirred up,
Okay.
but I find my way back.
Okay.
So how do I uncreate whatever I have created?
Well, you don't uncreate it. It's already out there, but now it's time to just move on to a new reality.
Okay, so how do I do that now?
We go back to you forgiving him and stop giving him space in your head.
I can try practicing that.
Okay.
What do I do with my son now?
I thought you said your son was out again.
He is. His dad rented this place. He's staying there.
Okay.
But he tries to give me the guilty trip and saying, what kind of a mom does this? You did this, blah, blah, blah. And it's all his dad's words.
Okay.
So he's blaming me. He's blaming me instead of taking responsibility for his actions.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's where he is. Right?
Yeah.
Now the question is, where are you? Are you going to take on that guilt?
Nope.
Okay, then there's not an issue, is there?
No, it's just hurtful that he's doing that, though.
But if it's hurtful, then you're taking on what he's saying.
I'm not agreeing with what he's saying. It's just that he's not learning from whatever he's doing. He still doesn't understand that there are consequences to your actions. He's still blaming me for his aggressive behavior and his actions.
And that's his journey to make. And if it's making you upset, you're giving him power over your feelings.
Okay.
So let him go on his own journey and let him figure things out. And don't let his words affect you, because they're just words. They're just where he is right now. And he'll change from where he is right now, but you have to trust that that's going to happen.
I do trust that that will happen, but as a mom, it's very disappointing to hear that from your child.
Yep, and I get that. But again, once you are getting to that place of I want him to stop and I have to figure out ways for him to stop because it's hurtful, you're allowing him to hurt you. You're giving him control.
No, I don't want him to stop. I just wish that he would have learned something from everything that happened and would have, just something good would have come out of it instead of him moving on but blaming me for his actions.
But again, you're trying to get him to be like you want him to be rather than who he is.
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's not going to work.
Yes.
To him exactly as he is.
You know why? Because this makes me feel a bit of a failure as a mother.
Okay. So this is what we're getting to. So are you willing to destroy the belief that if you can't make him behave in the right way, you are a failure as a mother?
Yes.
So it is possible to do everything you can and do the best you can and still not have things turn out the way you want them to.
Yes, as I can see.
Okay. But you have to be in a place where you're willing to accept that.
Yes, accepting it is not easy.
Okay. But that's where you need to go.
Yes, I actually try to accept on a daily basis.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm there, sometimes I go back and I'm not there.
Okay. So keep doing it until you're there almost all the time.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, this is Shiraz. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please remember to like and subscribe to our channel. And you can check out upcoming events at www.energeticmagic.com. And remember, be well, be aware, and be magical.